Good morning to all the students. In the last class, we completed the theory part for the unit sign dimensions. Now today we will go for few problems based on the unit sign dimensions. As I gave uses of dimensional analysis, in which one of the use is to find the relation between one physical quantity with the another, and how it will be related one physical quantity with the another, and that we are going to determine or to find out. For that, here we are going to doing few numericals, few problems. So see here is the question. The period T of a simple pendulum depends on the length L and the length L of a simple pendulum and the acceleration due to gravity at the place. So we have to get the relation for time period which depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. So here is the time period T of a simple pendulum, that is T, which it will be depends on, one is the length and another is the acceleration due to gravity. For that we will go for here T is depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. That means we will take T is directly proportional to length and acceleration due to gravity. But in what way it will be related? T is directly proportional to length or inversely proportional to length, or it is square root of length, or it is square of the length, that we don't know actually. So that we have to find out it. For that purpose, here we will go for this L to the power x we will take, whereas G to the power we will take y. Then here we have to find out x and y values. After getting x and y values, again we have to substitute the value of x and y in that equation, and that it will be gives the time period T of a simple pendulum. It will be depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. In what way? So therefore here we will go for one is we will take LHS here, and this LHS we have the time period is T. The dimension for time period we have to know. As you was known already, few dimensional formula I gave you. The time period it will be measured in terms of seconds, and it will be depends on only time, whereas it is independent on mass and length. So therefore the dimensional formula for time period is m raised to 0, L raised to 0, T raised to 1. This is what the LHS part. Now this is proportional to length L. Length is, as you know it is the fundamental quantity which is independent on mass and time. So therefore for length we have the dimensional formula is L only, that is L to the power 1. Here whole to the power what we have it is x. Then later G is the acceleration due to gravity. As I gave you the dimensional formula for acceleration. The dimensional formula for acceleration, which is L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. So therefore here the dimensional formula for acceleration and acceleration due to gravity both will be same. And the acceleration dimensional formula, acceleration due to gravity dimensional formula, both will be same. So here in general acceleration we will call it as the acceleration acquired by the body by the application of a force, which we will call it as generally acceleration. Whereas the acceleration due to gravity, that is the acceleration acquired by the body by the gravitational force. So that we will call it as acceleration due to gravity. But both will be acceleration itself. So dimensional formula for this acceleration due to gravity is L raised to 1 t raised to minus 2 whole to the power what we have taken, that is y. Now we have to find out the values of x and y by equating the powers of LHS and RHS quantities. So here m raised to 0, L raised to 0, t raised to 1 proportional to L raised to 1 whole to the power x means L raised to x. Here L raised to 1 whole to the power y means L raised to y. Then t raised to minus 2y. This you know it. In case of a theory of indices, you must learn these things. Now here we have to compare the powers of dimensional formulas for the fundamental quantities. So one more step better to see here. M raised to 0, L raised to 0, t raised to 1 proportional to. Here in this case m is not there. So for that we will write it as m raised to 0. Then L bases are same, indices can be added. So therefore we will get L raised to x plus y. And t raised to minus 2y. So now equating the powers of dimensions of the fundamental quantities m, L, t and t. So here we have m raised to 0, m raised to 0. No need to get it. It is not necessary. Here L raised to 0, but here L raised to x plus y. So therefore here x plus y equal to 0. This is the one equation. And another is here t raised to 1, here t raised to minus 2y. So therefore here minus 2y equal to 1. This is the another equation. Now by using these two equations we have to get the value of x and y. So look here directly here y equal to, as you know it, basic mathematics. According to that we will get here y equal to 1 by 2 with negative sign. So that means we got the value of y. Now using this equation x plus y equal to 0, therefore x equal to minus y. Therefore x equal to what you have here, minus y. Y value is minus 1 by 2, minus of minus 1 by 2. Therefore x equal to 1 by 2. So we got the value of x and y. Now again we will go for this. T is proportional to L raised to x. X, how much we got it? L raised to 1 by 2 means x L raised to 1 by 2 into G. G raised to y. G raised to y means G raised to minus 1 by 2. Because of y value is minus 1 by 2. So therefore here T is proportional to L raised to 1 by 2. This to the power minus, whenever we are going to taking in denominator, it becomes plus, that is G raised to plus 1 by 2. Now in the case of a numerator the power is 1 by 2, in the case of a denominator is also power 1 by 2. So this we will write it T proportional to L by G whole to the power 1 by 2. And to the power 1 by 2 that can be written as root of L by G, and this is what the time period, it will be depends on the length and acceleration due to gravity. Now this time period is directly proportional to, time period is directly proportional to square root of length, and the time period is inversely proportional to square root of acceleration due to gravity. This is what the relation between time period and length with acceleration due to gravity. Each run of find out function. Like this we have to show how the time period, it will be depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. Is it clear? I will repeat it once again. So here is the time period which depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. So time period, what we have to get the relation that we have to take towards LHS, and dependent quantities will be towards RHS. So hence here T is proportional to Li G, but we don't know what is their powers. So that powers we will take it as X and Y. Then by knowing the dimensions of time period, by knowing the dimensional formula for length, by knowing the dimensional formula for acceleration due to gravity, we have to write those dimensional formulas and we have to go for equating the respective powers of the given fundamental quantities dimensions. So therefore after equating, here we got it x plus y equal to 0 and minus 2y equal to 1. That means here equating the powers of respective fundamental quantities. Fundamental quantities are fundamental dimensions. So after that we got it x plus y equal to 0, minus 2y equal to 1, therefore y equal to minus 1 by 2, then x plus y equal to 0, x equal to minus y. In place of y we have minus 1 by 2. By substituting in place of y minus 1 by 2, we got it x equal to plus 1 by 2. Later this x and y values, this x value and y value, here you have to substitute it and you are going to getting the relation on which the time period will be depends. Is it clear up to this? And better to look here, actually the time period of a simple pendulum, by knowing the values of length and acceleration due to gravity, we are going to using the relation is T equal to 2 pi root of L by G. T equal to 2 pi root of L by G. And here we got it T is proportional to root of L by G. This constant 2 pi is not there. Here we didn't got the relation for that constant. So already I gave you, in case of a limitations, the dimensional equations or dimensional formulas, they will not give the information about the constant. Or constants about the constant, they will not give the information. So therefore here, up to this, by using the dimensional formula, we have to write it. If we want to go for the dimension with this constant is also depends, for that purpose we have to know the concept of simple pendulum whenever it is going to oscillating. The time period is nothing but, as you know it, the time taken by the simple pendulum to complete one oscillation. Time taken by the simple pendulum to complete one oscillation, that we will call it as a time period. So therefore, whenever the simple pendulum it will be completes one oscillation, then there we are going to measuring the angular displacement of that simple pendulum, and that angular displacement of simple pendulum to complete one oscillation, and that is equal to 360 degree, which we are going to writing in terms of radians 2 pi. So therefore here T is proportional to root of L by G. This proportionality constant T equal to K root of L by G, and this K is goes to 2 pi. Then T equal to 2 pi root of L by G. Each equation works. Like this, the equation will be there. That is actually helps to find out the time period of a simple pendulum. This 2 pi is the constant. Adakku idu dependent barala. Dependent barala L and G. Is it clear? This is one of the equation or one of the numeric. Now next we will go. The another question also I will give you. Innೊಂದು question ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Better to clarify once. The excess of pressure P, the excess excess of pressure P, the excess of pressure P inside a spherical soap bubble, inside a spherical soap bubble, spherical soap bubble, inside a spherical soap bubble over that of outside, over that of outside, over that of outside depends upon the radius r, depends upon the radius r, depends upon the radius r and the surface tension, and the surface tension, and the surface tension T. T is not a period here, T is the surface tension. Show by dimensional analysis, show by dimensional analysis, show by dimensional analysis that P proportional to T divided by R, P proportional to T divided by R. This we have to show by using the dimensional analysis, by using the dimensional formula. So here is the excess of pressure P inside a spherical soap bubble. Here is the soap bubble. Inside it there is some pressure comparing to the outside, and that pressure, it will be depends on the radius of the soap bubble. It will be depends on the radius of the soap bubble. As you know, it radius, diameter, distance traveled, they are same as the fundamental quantity, one of the fundamental quantity, that is length. Radius itself is a length. And it is also depends on the surface tension. This surface tension, it is the derived quantity. It is the fundamental quantity, that is the derived quantity. Of course that you don't know, but here I will tell you what is that surface tension. So here is the surface tension is the tangential force per unit length. Tangential force per unit length is called surface tension, and that is what the liquids, they have some property. Whatever may be the liquids, how they liquids available property, they have the one of the property, and that property is what? Surface tension. If any substance or any other body, any other material, if it will be in contact with the surface of the liquid, then the liquid, it will be rises in that material if that material which is in contact is having some porous, small holes, and in that holes the liquid, it will be rises, and that should be because of surface tension. Just like as you know it, whenever you are going to adding the water to the plants, the water will be rises in the capillaries and TV, whereas in case of a biology, the plant, they are having one of the tissue, that is xylem, which is known as a water conducting tissue, in which the water will be rises because of the water is having one of the property, that is what? Surface tension, which we will define as tangential force per unit length. and that is what the surface tension dimension we have to know. And that is, here we have tangential force. Either the force is tangential or normal or any other forces. In case of a dimensional formula, we will write force only. Per unit length means divided by length. So this is equal to dimension for force, we know it, that I gave you. I divided that expression for dimensions of force, and that you got it m raised to 1, L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. Divided by length dimension is L raised to 1. Now this L raised to 1, L raised to 1 will cancel. So surface tension, here T is the surface tension. In last problem they mentioned T is the pivot, but in this problem they mentioned surface tension is T. Now here m raised to 1, L both will be cancelled, though we will write it as L raised to 0, T raised to minus 2. This is what actually the dimensional formula. Dimensional formula for surface tension. This we have to know actually whenever we want to go that problem. So this we have to know. Of course we are not started this one. In case of a fluid mechanics, you are going to learning about the property of the surface tension. There once again we will repeat the same thing. But here the dimensions of surface tension, now I gave you, better to use it to solve this question. So here is once again what we done in the last problem. Solution. As the excess of pressure inside a spherical soap bubble over that of the outside depends on radius. That means pressure is depends on radius and it is depends on surface tension. Hence we will write P is directly proportional to R and T. We don't know how it will be related. Again we have to take X and Y. Now pressure, already I gave the dimensional formula for pressure. We done. Kelon morning, last class morning. Pressure P is, its dimensional formula is m raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2. This here we have to write. Pressure dimensional formula. M raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2. Proportional to R. R is nothing but length, and length dimension is L. So here L. L raised to 1. Whole to the power what we have taken, that is X we have taken, into T. T is the surface tension, and surface tension we got it T, surface tension m raised to 1, L raised to 0, T raised to minus 2. M raised to 1, L raised to 0, T raised to minus 2. Now this we will simplify it. ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅದೇ ತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ವೈಸಾಯೀಕರಣ. What we done in the last problem. So similarly we have to solve this one. And finally we have to show P is proportional to T by R. So here m raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2 proportional to L raised to x, m raised to 1 into x, x, 1 into here y, we have y, here y, m raised to y, L raised to 0 into y is 0, and T raised to minus 2y. So m raised to 1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2 proportional to. So L bases are same, indices can be added. M will be there, m raised to y. L here is the 1, here is 1, but this is 0, so therefore we will get L raised to x itself. And T raised to what we are going to get in here? T raised to minus 2y. Now here we have to find out the value of x and y, again equating. equating the powers of similar quantities. Similar quantities powers we have to equate it. Here m raised to 1, here m raised to y. So power is 1, here power is y. Therefore, y equal to 1. Then L raised to minus 1, here L raised to x. So therefore, x equal to minus 1. And one more is what? T. Here T raised to minus 2, here T raised to minus 2y. Therefore, minus 2y equal to minus 2. So here y value 1 we got it, here x value what we got it? Minus 1. Again here minus get cancelled, 2 get cancelled. So therefore y is equal to 1. Now put this y value is and x value we have to write here. After writing, then according to mathematically you have to simplify. Whether check it, you will get P is proportional to T by R. If you get P is proportional to T by R, then that should be verified or that should be shown. So therefore we will see correct agtira nona. देखो यार, P is proportional to R raised to X. X value is how much? Minus 1 we got it. Here minus 1. Y, T raised to Y. Y is how much we got it? T raised to 1. Therefore, P proportional to T raised to positive 1, we will write it positive 1. R raised to minus 1, that you have to take it numerator. Minus 1 becomes plus 1. R raised to 1. Positive 1, it is actually no need to write it. If you want, you can write it, otherwise you have to leave it. P is proportional to T divided by R. This we got it finally. And they ask, show by dimensional analysis that P is proportional to T by R. And here also we got it. P is proportional to T by R. Hence, what they asked, that we showed it. Hence, show. This is what the relation. What they asked. This we got it by using the dimensional analysis. By using the dimensional formula. Is it clear? अर्थ आयता? कैसा फाइंड आउट करना मालूम है? So now we will go another different question. Third one we will see. So here this third question, obtain the dimensions of gravitational constant. Obtain the dimensions of gravitational constant. Obtain the dimensions of gravitational constant starting from Newton's law of gravitation. Starting from Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. So that means here we have to obtain the dimensional equation or dimensional formula for gravitational constant by using what here? Newton's law of gravitation. Actually it was learned, I think, in 10th standard about the gravitation topic, in which you was studied Newton's universal law of gravitation. That we have to know. If we know that one, then only it is possible to complete this question. If you don't know about the Newton's law of gravitation, which it will be states that the force of attraction between the two bodies, is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between the two bodies. Here is the body 1 of mass m1. Here is another body of mass m2. They are separated by some distance, that is r. Then there is a force of attraction between those two bodies, and that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance. This statement, it was given by Newton, known as Newton's universal law of gravitation. It will be called as universal law because of it is applicable anywhere in the universe. It is applicable anywhere in the universe. So therefore it can be called as universal law of gravitation. Now here force is proportional to m1 m2 divided by r square. Now force equal to some constant g m1 m2 divided by r square. This is what the equation which was given by Newton, known as Newton's law of gravitation. And here g is proportionality constant, which is a dimensional constant. And this dimensional constant g, for that here we have to find out the dimensional formula. This is called dimensional formula, either the dimensional formula for that. So therefore here solution, here we know that, we have to know that. We know that F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r square. This should be known. So now here we want to find out G, that should be taking in LHS. So here is G equal to, by simple ordinary mathematical rules we have to simplify, F r square divided by m1 m2. Now this we will write it as G equal to F into r square divided by m1 m2. This is what basic. We have to, now we have to use the dimensions of the quantities on which this G will be dependent. Now G it will be depends on force, G it will be depends on distance between two bodies, G it will be depends on mass of two bodies. Now here G is equal to force. F is nothing but what here? F is force. R is distance, m1 and m2 are masses. m1 and m2 are masses. So here G equal to F, F is force, and already gave the dimensional formula for force. That you must have to remember. And if you remember that, then only here we have to write it, and therefore it is easy to simplify. And for force, the dimensional formula is m raised to 1, L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. And R is the distance. And distance is nothing but length. This distance itself is length. And as you know, the dimension for length is L. So therefore here we will write L to the power what we have 2 divided by mass m1. m1 is the mass dimension, we know it, that is capital M. So therefore here capital M raised to 1. Another is also again mass, m raised to again 1. Now simplify it. And here we will get G equal to this m, 1 m will cancel. This m you have to take it numerator. That is what? M raised to minus 2. And here L raised to 1, here L raised to how much? L raised to 3. Total it becomes L raised to 3. And T raised to minus 2. This is what the dimensional formula. What they asked, obtain the dimensions of gravitational constant. and this is the dimensions of gravitational constant. M raised to minus 1, L raised to 3, T raised to minus 2. This itself is the dimension of gravitational constant. The use of this dimensional constant or dimensional formula, once again here I will tell you, we can able to write the unit of this dimensional constant or unit of this gravitational constant or unit, उसका unit लिख सकते हैं, and that is what here G equal to M raised to minus 1. M is mass unit is kg, L is the length unit is meter, T is the time period, time is measured in seconds. So therefore this can be written as SI unit is meter cube per kg per second square. This is one of the unit of gravitational constant, that is meter cube per kg per second square. Otherwise you can also able to write by using this also. By knowing this also we can able to write, and that is what this also we will call it as a SI unit. And here F is nothing but force, and as I gave you, the unit of force in SI system is Newton. That is Newton. And R is the length. Length is nothing but here measured in terms of meters. So therefore this is meter square. Divided by mass, kg into kg. Divided by means per kg square. This is also SI unit of gravitational constant. That is Newton meter square per kg square. Newton meter square per kg square. Is it clear? And the value of gravitational constant which was given by Newton, and that is G equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. This is value constant which was given by Newton. This calculate mada avashyakate illa. So this is about what another question. Obtain the dimensions of gravitational constant starting from Newton's law of gravitation. So here we will go for one more question. There is also one more. In case of a users to check the given equation is dimensionally right or wrong, that also we have to find out it. And for that purpose here I will give you one more question, and that it will be helps to check whether the given equation is dimensionally right or wrong. So the frequency of vibration, frequency of vibration of a stretched string, of a stretched string is given by the relation, is given by the relation n equal to 1 by 2l root of t divided by m, t by m, where m mass per unit length, L is length, and T is, here T will be taken as tension on the string. tension on the string. Tension is nothing but force. This tension is nothing but force. Tension on the string. Show that the expression is dimensionally correct. So that means here one of the use, as I gave you, the dimensional equation or dimensional formula is helps to find the given equation is dimensionally correct or wrong. For that, based on that one here, n equal to 1 by 2l root of t divided by m. Whether this equation is dimensionally right or wrong, that we have to check it. If you want to check that equation dimensionally right or wrong, for that we have to go for dimensions of LHS and dimensions of RHS must be same. If on both sides the dimensions must be same, then we will say the given equation is dimensionally correct. Dimensions of LHS and dimensions of RHS must be same. If we will get both are same dimensions, then we will say the given equation is dimensionally correct. So for that purpose, one more thing also I told you, here this is 1 by 2, this 1 by 2 is the constant. For constant, the dimensional formulas are not necessary. So for that, this equation, just I will change it as n proportional to 1 by l root of t by m. N is proportional to 1 by l root of t by m. So here LHS, first we will take LHS, and this LHS is n, and this n is nothing but frequency. N is nothing but what here? Frequency, and the frequency is the reciprocal of time period. For that already I gave you the dimensional formula for frequency, which is the reciprocal of time period, and that we got it t raised to minus 1. For period it is t, capital T, whereas the reciprocal of time period is nothing but 1 by t, and that 1 by t can be written as t raised to minus 1. Now we will go for RHS. Say this is equation 1. What we have here? RHS 1 by L root of t divided by m. Now here this 1 by L is nothing but length. L is nothing but length, and length dimension, as you know it, that is L. 1 by capital L root of T. T is nothing but here T, tension. Tension is nothing but, tension itself is force. Tension and force both are same. So therefore here we have to write the dimension of force itself, and that is T in place of T. Dimension of force is m raised to 1, L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. Today itself, now only in the last problem only, the tension means force dimensional formula we wrote it, and that it will be again repeated. In repeat of ऐसा repeat होते जाते. So during that repetition, better to recall once again so that you will be perfect. Divided by this m itself, not only the mass here, m is nothing but here, better to look carefully. M is nothing but mass per unit length. It is not only simply mass, but it is mass per unit length. Means m equal to mass divided by length. And this mass dimension is m, length dimension is L. So therefore dimension for this m here, we are going to getting m raised to 1. Here L raised to 1 denominator, take it numerator, it becomes minus 1. So therefore m raised to 1, L raised to minus 1. That we have to write it here. M raised to 1, L raised to minus 1. Now here this m get cancelled. Then what is the remaining quantity here? 1 by L root of this L raised to 1, T raised to minus 2. And here this L raised to minus 1 denominator, take it numerator, it becomes L raised to 1. Now 1 by L root of L bases are same, indices can be added. L raised to 2, T raised to minus 2. Now after this, as you know it mathematically, root of L raised to 2, T raised to minus 2, 1 by L here, this we will write it off, root of L raised to 1, T raised to minus 1 whole square. Now whole square and root will be cancelled, 1 by L into L raised to 1, T raised to minus 1. This is L raised to 1, this is also L raised to 1, both will be cancelled. Left is what here? T raised to minus 1. So RHS, what we got it here? RHS again we got it T raised to minus 1. What LHS we have here? LHS is also T raised to minus 1. So by equating equation 192, equation 1 and 2, LHS equal to RHS. So if LHS equal to RHS means dimensions of LHS and dimensions of RHS both are same, means the given equation is dimensionally correct. Hence the given relation is dimensionally correct. This is what the another question to check the given equation is dimensionally correct. Few more questions will be there. One more application, one more use is there to convert one system of unit into another, and that we will do in the next class. Okay, thank you.